Okay, I swear, this is going to be my last video grilling ranked play in Vanguard for a while, but what I'm about to say just needs to be said. Now, if you did watch my last video on ranked play, I was talking about how the devs screwed with the ranks too much with the placements and made it pretty much incredibly unfun and unbalanced to play ranked, but honestly since then, the ranks have ironed out a little bit more and just playing ranked play in general now is a little bit more tolerable. But one problem that has never been addressed or ironed out yet is the tracer round problem. This issue has been around since the introduction of tracer rounds in Modern Warfare and really took off with Cold War, especially with certain guns having less visual recoil and tracers that are more distracting than normal with Cold War. And of course, all of these you do have to pay for, and in its own right, it's honestly a form of pay to win. Maybe more of a pay for and a competitive advantage, since I have seen some pretty ass players using tracers that just aren't good even after paying for it, but still is borderline pay to win. Regardless though, people are spending $20 to $40 for guns that they wouldn't have otherwise gotten just because of the tracer rounds. And while I honestly don't mind people buying skins that they want and looking cool, I do mind people purposely buying specific bundles for competitive weapons to gain an advantage over the enemy. With Vanguard, the main one that I see all the time is a Red Reactor Mastercraft auto that shoots beams of bright red tracers that have lightning effects around it that literally evaporate you when you get killed. The blueprint is by far the most annoying because the tracers themselves are incredibly bright that they already block your vision when you're shooting back, but the spray pattern of the gun itself gives the tracer rounds this effect of going everywhere and creating an even bigger visual block. And it's honestly to the point where you can't even see the enemy you're shooting at, and you really just have to rely on aim assist and the little circle above their name. And if that wasn't enough, when you most likely lose the gunfight, your body evaporates into red smoke and lightning that leaves the several seconds before you respawn just a screen of red smoke. And while that might not seem like much to the normal player, for competitive players, that blocks the view of the enemy, which prohibits you from giving the callout that is pretty useful. This is especially annoying in S&D when you get fried, and you can't even tell your team where the dude was or where he is heading because all you see is smoke. And of course there is a blueprint for the MP40 as well that people abuse, that being the bioluminescence blueprint or however the hell you say it, but the variant shoots, instead of bright red tracers, bright blue tracers. The only difference is that there aren't any smoke effects on the tracers, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't evaporate you into a substance. Regardless though, gunfights against this blueprint are still annoying because you have bright blue tracers beaming at you while you're just trying to fight back with a base gun. Even though the tracers aren't as annoying as the red ones, they still prompt the problem of not being able to take a gunfight fairly, which honestly ruins some competitive integrity to the game. And while you can't just straight up ban these blueprints because people paid for them obviously, you can just simply make them client side. It should be, and honestly should have been since the start, client side. Make it to where only the users that are using the weapon can see the tracer rounds, and everyone else just sees normal bullets and sprays, so these gunfights can be more equal. I can't even comprehend the amount of times I've lost gunfights I shouldn't have because some dude was using a tracer round bundle that is head glitching me in a spot that I can easily rip him off of, but because of those tracers, I literally could not see him or shoot back properly, so I was losing. It's honestly mind-boggling that none of the devs have done anything about this and just let it slide. I understand that if you restrict the tracers to client side, most people that use them would have never have bought them in the first place, causing several thousands of dollars to be lost, but the amount of people that specifically bought the bundle to abuse them in ranked play is probably such a low amount of players that it most likely wouldn't even put a dent in the daily sales that Call of Duty makes from their microtransactions. Regardless though, something really needs to be done about people that abuse tracer rounds because it can ruin games and make fair matches unfair, and it gives people a competitive advantage that you have to pay for, which also isn't fair. Let me know though what you think about the tracer round problem, and if you've ever experienced similar annoying circumstances in the comments below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more Call of Duty content like this. But until next time, see ya.